Alrighty, y'all. It is Friday. Welcome back. Let's have some fun. I'm pumped for the weekend. I hope yours is going to be awesome. I can't believe it's been a month since I did one of these. That doesn't even seem right. I usually do them every week. But let's jump into some of the craziness and stupidity of the internet. This is going to be a good one. Buckle up. All right, starting out with this genius right here. In German, there was no word for thank you. So a German-sounding word Dankeschön was coined by a songwriter. Sorry. You can see this post here, right? Looking for examples of Danke before 1963. Like, are they kidding me? The song Dankeschön was popular in the U.S. in the early 60s. A story is that in German, there was no word for thank you. So German-sounding word Dankeschön was coined by a songwriter. I wonder if the term Dankeschön was indeed created by Wayne Newton, an American singer. More importantly, is there any evidence of the term being used in the German language prior to Wayne Newton introduced the song? Thank you. Round of applause. Wait till you see the comments. To think that a major language like German didn't have a word for thank you in their own language ever until an American song came out. They just unlocked next level ignorance. Damn. Oh, that almost deserves a trophy. I'm kind of amazed. What? I mean, what? I think this post has finally broken the limits of the subreddit with the sheer depth of stupidity. We're in another reality now. Yeah, they might have opened up, like literally opened up a portal and kind of just sucked the whole world into it. If this is like a consistent way of thinking, this is dangerous. And take a look at this Pokemon forum. Without being condescending or rude, you do know Germans speak Dutch, right? I am German and we don't speak Dutch, bro. That's a bullshit. Based off my American German girlfriend and her entire family still in Germany, that's what they say. Oh, God. Her family didn't say that, and are we talking about an actual German girl, or are we talking about a American girl with German ancestry, right? I mean, yeah, just who cares? In Germany, we speak Deutsch, not Dutch. Maybe that's where the confusion comes from. Yeah, I think that's definitely it. I think people here just see those two words interchangeably a lot. And, I mean, if you're kind of just passive, you don't really read things thoroughly, and you're not into languages, that might be, I guess, an easy mistake to make. I think that's definitely it. It's a very American mistake to make. But yeah, you gotta hand it to them. Pretty incredible, an American trying to educate a actual German on what language they speak. That one is hilarious. Americans have been confusing Dutch for Deutsch for a very long time. The Pennsylvania Dutch are actually from Germany. Dutch angles in the film are copied from German films of the 1930s. They genuinely don't understand the difference. Bingo. Try being from Denmark. For some strange reason, lots of Americans think people from Denmark are Dutch and speak Dutch. I could see that too. I think I thought that when I was younger, before I knew about like geography and, just different countries and stuff. I think I might have. I'm talking about when I was like 8 or 9, not like now, okay? I know the difference now. But I could see maybe that one too, like Denmark, they're Dutch. Oh no, wait, they're Danish. You know what I mean? Like, I think people do mix that stuff up. What can I say, man? They don't teach us this stuff very well. People don't retain this stuff well here. You know this. An American splaining German to a German. This one is the absolute best, though, right here. We Czechian Republicans speak Chechen naturally. There's some context right there. Oh, my God. UK News World, Americans, Boston Marathon bombings, Czech Republic. Ambassador concerned by Americans confusing his country with Chechnya. To all Americans, east of Germany is still all of the Russians, probably. You know what? To some Americans, for sure. It's actually crazy to think about. Don't forget, Aussies speak Austrian. Right, mate? Then you have the dumbest comment regarding driving I may have ever seen in my life. But unfortunately, some people think like this here. I just don't get it. Roundabouts. either put in a stop sign or a stoplight. Okay, as a car guy, as someone who loves driving, and as an American, no. Stoplights suck. I still have to make a video on how terrible it is driving around my area because of our horrible infrastructure, which includes a lot of stoplights that don't work correctly. I don't feel like I'm driving. I feel like I'm sitting still for most of my drive. Stop signs are terrible in the US because the average driver doesn't understand etiquette and when people should go, simple driving dynamics. And wouldn't you know that four-way stop sign intersections, well, those aren't really fun either because there's always just that little bit of like subconscious anxiety in the back of my head. I know when it's my turn to go, usually at least 4 times out of 10, someone else decides it's actually their turn, even though it's not. And, well, as you can imagine, that's pretty fun to try and avoid starting your day out with a little T-bone or a wreck. I do say that I welcome roundabouts. We have a couple. I wish we had them all, but we only have a couple. But the couple roundabouts I do get access to, it's so fast, so smooth, no stopping, idling for 4 minutes, waiting for a light to turn. It's so awesome. It's so awesome. And I've never had a near miss, right? As long as you know what you're doing, and they're pretty easy, they're definitely superior. Yes, let's ignore all the statistics about car accidents because Americans are too lazy to even steer their wheel. Someone has a great statistic spread here. You can see the road traffic deaths per 100K citizens. Meanwhile, you look at the U.S., it's 12.84. So, way higher, right? But here's an interesting fact. One of the U.S. states right next to me, Indiana, you look at Carmel, Indiana, and this is a very cool city, like a kind of northern suburb of Indianapolis, and it has replaced about 130 intersections with roundabouts and managed to cut total traffic accidents by about 40%, with fatal ones being cut out by around 90%. I love roundabouts. I agree. That is really cool. So that's in the U.S. Like, it can be done here. That's a very cool place. I want to visit that place sometime because you could call it, I guess, kind of an American, or rather a European type approach to that city. Versus your typical American approach. Lots of roundabouts, bike lanes everywhere, walkable spaces everywhere, public parks. It's designed a lot different than your typical American suburb, and I think it looks really interesting. I have literally heard a U.S. YouTuber unironically call roundabouts communism? What? Well, it wasn't me. I could promise you that. How in the hell do you call roundabout communism? Calling a different design of an intersection that increases traffic flow, reduces accidents, and literally prevents you from sitting and idling like a moron for minutes. How does that have anything to do with communism? This next one isn't the flex I don't think this original poster thought it was. So take a look. So they're kind of trying to flex like America versus Europe. So this is America, right? You have the West Coast. They got Waymos, right? The autonomous vehicles, autonomous taxis, essentially. And then, of course, Elon Musk, I think, is just launching or maybe just launched robo-taxis in Texas, right? Okay, right? I'm not a fan of the autonomous stuff, but to each their own, whatever. It's pretty cool, I guess. And then they say, meanwhile, in Europe, for some reason, there you go. We have the caps that don't come off. Agreed. I know they're a little weird at first, but they're really not a big deal. Remember, I buy European groceries now, and all the drinks have that on there. I've learned really quick to deal with it. It's actually not even something you have to deal with. It's just not a big deal. You turn it to the side. It doesn't go up your nose. That's solved. And eating in a beautiful, like literally beautiful street, like the vibe here, right? Look at the historic buildings, the balconies, no cars rushing through at all, right? You're outside with awesome beer and awesome food and women, right? Like, what? What exactly are they trying to like jab at Europeans about here? Never get how Americans think we stuff the lid up our nose when you could just turn the bottle a few degrees and have it on the side of your mouth. Yeah, exactly. Europe looks pretty effing sweet. Hanging out at the cafe with my bros and hot women. I wouldn't lose my bottle caps anymore. And Elon Musk is nowhere to be seen. What's the right picture under Europe even supposed to mean? A nice looking, chilling people with healthy work-life balance enjoying their drinks. Is that supposed to be bad? I agree. I think I missed the joke. I just don't get it. And you gotta love the typical old school American here. It's Iran, not Iran. Well, I guess they would also, if they could find it on a map, they might also look at that famous, shaped country around the water in Europe, and I guess they'd call that Italy, or maybe Italy. Who knows? Yep. They could have been anywhere in the world and got a tattoo. They had their baby on March 12th, 2025. Congrats. But someone's always got to weigh in, right? Somehow, with a whole army of likes, too, which scares me a little bit. You can write off a couple ignorant comments. It happens. But when you have a whole thousands and thousands of people liking it, yikes. December 3rd, 2025, you had a future baby? No. Remember, 98% of the world does the dates different than us. They didn't have a future baby. I'm baffled now. When confronted with a date format they're unfamiliar with, their first instinct is to always shout time travel or fake news, instead of wondering why someone might write down a date like that. If it's different from the US, it must be fake. That's what's weird, is it is frustrating, right? Like, that is like the attitude of a lot of people. And that could be a lot of people worldwide for certain things, but it is, I hate to say it, but it is concentrated here. A lot of people think like that. If it's not American, it's inferior. If it's not the American way, it must be fake or dumb. Now, let's take the heat off the Americans a little bit here. I like to do a couple of these inverse, things to keep it a little equal, keep everyone honest, right? Apparently, some Europeans, and I say some because I know it gets hot in different European countries, and I'm not, a lot of people in Europe probably love warm or hot weather. But apparently, Dortmund's bench watched their match from the locker room because it was 87 degrees. So this is in a U.S. publication, I'm assuming, because they said 87 degrees. So obviously that would include, or that would indicate Fahrenheit, because 87 Celsius would be, rightfully so, you'd hope you were anywhere but there. Otherwise, you'd be on fire. So if we're taking 87 degrees Fahrenheit, is that hot? I guess you could call that hot. I would consider anything over 85 hot, but it's not unbearable. Unbearable would be more like 97 degrees Fahrenheit, 104. These are temperatures you see in most of the U.S. still when it's really hot. 87 is kind of a more mild, like just a normal summer day. Not hot at all. So if someone, like literally sports players, literally football players, right, can't handle 87 degrees Fahrenheit, I gotta say, that's a little weak. I'm a little shocked by that. Come on, y'all. But let me stress, I don't know if this is true. It is like an internet news thing, and you know how I feel I about media, like especially American media, is trash. So I don't know how much of this is really true. Take it with a grain of salt. But let's just pretend it was true. That would be pretty funny because, dude, if you can't handle 87, yikes. Like, you just live on the North Pole then. Another one I found funny that's a little bit true, a little bit annoying to take, but it's okay. I signed up for it. How the internet reacts to disrespectful tourists when it's Canadian, European, Australian, etc. It's okay. We forgive you. A few bad apples won't hurt us. We know not every one of you is like that. Meanwhile, when it's an American disrespectful tourist, stupid Americans and their entitlement, they're loud and obnoxious. They're not welcome here. Yeah, it sucks. It is what it is. That's about it. This is pretty funny. This is a tourist, speaking of, in Greece. And I got to admit, I mean, this is not something I'd do. Just saying. It's a little out there, but, you wear this, you're going to get the attention, okay? This guy chose to wear this shirt. If this flag offends you, I'll help you pack. Good old-fashioned American t-shirt there. Choosing to wear that overseas, I mean, choosing to wear that here, that's on you. Like, freedom of speech, whatever. But choosing to wear that literally in Greece, yeah, it's a bit weird. Just when I was trying to defend American tourists abroad. I get it. You know what? The unbelievable American style main character syndrome here is off the charts. Yeah, I get it. You're right. I get the resentment for most American tourists. Remember, not all of us are bad, but unfortunately, there's just so many bad ones. I'm sorry. Yeah, dude, it's late at night, right? This is in Greece. They're out here shouting, like singing, shouting, like they're in a movie. Holy crap, dude. Like, what? How annoying is that? I'm annoyed. Through a camera, through speakers, I'm annoyed. Or through headphones. Sorry, whatever, same thing. Do you know what astonishes me? I've never been smart, like never. My grades have always been terrible, yada, yada. But I do have something that most people don't have nowadays. It's called common sense. You are a completely different country, wandering the streets at night, shouting a Mamma Mia song. Girl, you're not Meryl Streep movie. Have some effing respect. People try to sleep at night or at least get some rest. Yeah. I just can't imagine going to a different country and like marching around yelling and screaming and singing. Wow. These people possess something, some characteristic that I just can't comprehend. And for those of you wondering, you've all been slacking, you know this is coming every episode. The rain continues. Y'all haven't been showing up in the NHL Stanley Cup, the American National Hockey League. Man, y'all been losers. A U.S.-based team has won the Stanley Cup in 31 straight seasons. That's right. We're the best. Y'all just aren't. Keep in mind, this is an NHL, which is based in the U.S., and it's 97% U.S. teams. The only international teams would be our neighbors, Canada. I think they have, 2 or 3 teams, maybe 4. I think I'm leaning towards 2 or 3. And that's it. So, not really a flex here, right? Like, what are we saying here? Of course, a U.S.-based team has won 31 straight seasons. It's basically a U.S. league. Like, what? Shout out to Chicago Blackhawks 2010, 2013, and 2015. Yeah. 59 straight Super Bowls. Read them and weep. And lastly, we're going to end it on this one because I could go on forever with these. Apparently, only the U.S. makes a great car. Oh, is that a funny statement? So this looks like it's on a reel, and it says why mechanics hate engineers, and they show that this vehicle is just a pain to work on. And of course, the comments go to this guy, right? Well, that has to be a European car. Actually, funnily enough, it's a Ram 1500. Gotta love it, right? Thought I'd end it on a good one there. Wow, there's a lot. Let me see. I think I got everything I wanted to show. There's a lot of good ones, right? I thought the funniest part was me trying to defend, like, everyone always is harder on American tourists. But they kind of reassured why people are, right? Right after, at least I showed it, right? I hope you enjoyed this. I certainly did. I appreciate you watching, and I hope you have an awesome weekend. And hopefully I'll see you in the next upload as well. That's it for this one. My name is Ian. You're watching IWrocker. Until next time, y'all. Catch you later.